Mercury and Mars are making waves as they simultaneously shift signs within 20 minutes of each other on July 4th. Mars in Taurus is a super big deal. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, we're back with another installment of Astrology Shots to get us through the week of July 3rd. We've got several little big transits to discuss, and they all kind of overlap and fit together. So let's get into it. On July 4th, and this might be July 5th, depending on your time zone if you're on the West Coast, but right around midnight here on the East Coast where I am, we're going to see Mercury and Mars simultaneously change signs. This is interesting because always when we see multiple personal planets shifting gears around the same time, we know that there's going to be an energetic shift in the collective that week. There's going to be a new influx of energies that we're experiencing, and it sort of changes the collective mood or the collective focus in some way. So this will be very interesting for a couple reasons because it's Independence Day, and there's a lot of reason right now where a lot of people have good reason to be very upset here in this country. I'm talking, of course, about the Roe overturn that has recently ruffled a lot of feathers here. Obviously, there's a lot of people who are upset for other reasons. So it should be an interesting 4th of July for sure. So I think that backing it up just a second, thinking about the aspects of last week with Mars agitating the Aries-Pluto square. And here, as we come into this weekend, Mars is still square Pluto. So there's a lot of tension. I think there's room for a lot of demonstration to continue this weekend. So this is interesting to watch. Two planets changing signs within 20 minutes of each other in a sextile formation right around midnight on July 4th. Now, why else is this interesting? Well, because one of those planets is Mars. And we've hinted at this a few times before on this channel, but Mars will be shifting from Aries into Taurus. Guess when the last time this happened was? You guessed it, the Capitol Insurrection. So that was the very last time that happened. So this is basically the Mars return of the Capitol Insurrection happening on July 4th, where people probably want to do the same thing to the Supreme Court, to be honest. So should be interesting. Breaking that down a little bit, a lot of astrologers are split of whether we should blame Mars and Aries for that or Mars and Taurus. We did see the QAnon shaman with the Taurus bullhorns. A lot of people were quick to point out Mars and Taurus for that, but the bulk of that uprising happened while Mars was at the anaretic degree of Aries. So we know Mars is fired up in Aries. We know it's impulsive. It's catalytic. It's supercharged. It's sort of I like to think of Mars and Aries as fight or flight, and especially at that anaretic degree. So we saw the fighting, we saw the rioting, we saw the protesting, we saw it all on TV. And it's interesting because as we're seeing that return, we're seeing public hearings about it. So we're also getting the Mars return in that way. So it will be very interesting to see what sort of heats up in the collective in terms of Mars hitting that anaretic degree of Aries, where I was typing out anaretic the other day and I read anarchy. It's anarchy. It was anarchy on that day. So it'll be interesting to see if that theme sort of repeats itself here. The other planet changing signs is Mercury. Mercury is going to leave their domicile in Gemini and enter into compassionate, heartfelt Cancer. So I think that this will heat up, especially on July 9th when Mercury reaches that square to Jupiter. I'm thinking about all the press releases. I'm thinking about small businesses or healthcare providers. Mercury in Cancer, very compassionate, very empathetic, good at listening, good at interpreting emotions and speaking to them in a square with Jupiter. Here's what we believe. So I think that, especially some of these larger hospitals, I'm here in Cleveland, home of the Cleveland Clinic. They're huge. I'm interested to hear what they will say. So that got me thinking about the Mercury square Jupiter. It's typically a very outspoken alignment, Mercury square Jupiter on July 9th. However, there's some compassion there with Mercury in Cancer. And Cancer is a protective sign too. So wanting to protect and preserve and nourish with language. That's really the goal, while also voicing our opinion, Jupiter in Aries. So I'm sure we'll see a lot of outspokenness, hopefully coming from a more compassionate side. Right now we're all fired up. Many of us are. But this is more of like a compassionate conversation that has some impact. So that's where I think we'll see Mercury and Cancer really come out. However, as these two planets are changing signs, they're also in a sextile. But this is Mars. There's something fierce. There's something about defending. There's something, I'm expecting movement on that day. But Mercury's going to whip through Cancer. It's going to be a very quick transit. Some highlights from this is we're going to see a Mercury cazimi. It's going to come up real quick. I think we'll be talking about that next week. And it's going to just fly through the sign of Cancer. So we're just here from really July 5th through July 19th. So this is a quick 2-week transit, so take advantage of it. Let's talk a little bit more about Mars in Taurus. This is important. This is really, really important. Mars in Taurus, Mars in Taurus is in its detriment. Mars in Taurus is slow to anger, but it's containing it. It's holding it in. And Taurus is a sign all about momentum. So this is where we can see the momentum continue. I think some of the collective rage being experienced at this time, it's just going to persist. It's just going to persist through Taurus. It's going to contain it. It's going to hold on to it. It's fuel. It's motivating. Because we're going to see some pretty big events as Mars moves into Taurus. It's going to start to slow down. Mars will be going retrograde in Gemini. So but that's long way ahead and a whole other conversation. But for now, Mars will be in Taurus through August 20th. So that's about a month and a half here. And there's going to be, and we'll be able to elaborate more on this, but gosh, Mars is going to be agitating some stuff here. So last week we saw Mars agitate and activate the Pluto-Eris square, and look what happened. We're also going to be seeing Mars energize the Saturn-Uranus square later on in this journey. And that is all about cultural and infrastructural and technological evolution. We see this planetary cycle having a lot to do with workers' rights and progress there, as well as technology's role in liberating workers. So that will be interesting to see. But more importantly, at the end of July, beginning of August, we're going to see Mars align with Uranus and the North Node. That's going to be a big one. And so if that rage is persisting and carrying over, Uranus wants freedom. Uranus is rebellion. Uranus is shattering the glass ceiling. Like, we're going to see some big stuff. So I just wanted to forecast that out there. Just so you know, Mars in Taurus is a big deal. It's probably just as big of a deal as Mars in Gemini, to be perfectly honest. So pay attention to this transit. Pay attention to what it's activating in your chart, because wherever you have Taurus is where you have Uranus has been making waves and creating spaces for liberation and radical innovation. But also this is where the eclipses are happening. So Mars is going to be energizing this and agitating it. And there's going to be pressure, and that pressure is going to need a release. So definitely look out for that. Mars is also going to be activating some eclipse degrees as it moves through Taurus. Those are going to be major. So we'll be talking more about Mars and Taurus through August 20th. So stick with me if you wanna hear more details on those updates. But for right now, that was your astrology shot of the week. See, they all kind of fit together like a puzzle. So thanks for sticking this longer one out with me, and I will catch you next time. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today. For more astrology in your world, stay connected with me on all platforms at Astro Catherine. You can also get on my mailing list to stay up to date on classes. I've got 2 monthly meetups, and I'm going to be launching a whole new rendition of my foundations course starting this September. So hope to see you there. Bye.